Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Say When Bourbon. I'm Steve.
I'm not Steve, I'm Scott. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about infinity bottles. What the concept is, what we've been doing with them. Everybody's different. So thank you for viewing this, and we're going to
Get right into it.
get right into it. So I'll just start. So the concept of an infinity bottle, we'll start there. It's basically a bottle that's never ending. I actually like.
Is that where the infinity comes from?
Might be. Just might be. I basically, you can read everything on the internet. From what I understand, it was a concept of somebody that wanted an ever-changing bottle. This is how you like your life. It changes constantly. As you're blending different spirits, different whiskeys, it's going to slightly change it, and different ones. I actually am hoping that I can eventually start doing with mine, when my kids get old enough. I have 5 boys. When they get old enough, taking a little bit out of this and putting it into an infinity bottle for them when they turn 21, and then it will basically be the start of their bottle, but it's actually a family one, and it's a unique one that nobody else will.
It would be
have.
like a heritage grain where
Yeah.
a bourbon distillery uses a certain grain and yeast.
Yes,
For
it definitely, and then
hundreds of years.
they basically can have something that nobody else has. Nobody else in the world will ever be able to try
I
that.
like that. Yeah.
It's unique on there. What's your kind of impression of an infinity bottle?
Well, same thing. Yeah, it's always changing, never ending. So you take a little out, you put a little in. Your proof point, your ABV is always going to be changing. The nose will always be changing. So I mean, technically, as long as you keep adding to it, you could have a new nose, a new mouthfeel,
Yeah,
a new palate every time you try the bottle, try a glass. So.
and everybody's different on their concept of it. Some people actually will say, don't drink it until it's all the way to the top. That's the only time you're supposed to drink it. Other people say, if you use a rye, that's the only one that goes in there is a rye. I think I've even heard certain proofs, if it's 100 proof, you kind of stick around at least 100 proof. My opinion is do whatever you think is right, what you like, and that's what makes it unique, is you're doing what you want. You probably make something that may not taste that good, but it's ever changing, like he was saying. It's an infinity bottle that if you dump something in there and you try it later, it may
This
not.
is bourbon. You pour it.
You try it, you may not like it, but
Add something else.
add something else to it, yeah. And with it, from what we've read online, is you find a percent or a measurement that you want to use. Like I've used 2 ounces for every pour that goes in there, and then you kind of stick with it. We each have different apps that you can do. He has an iPhone, I have an Android, so we have different apps, obviously because of that. But they both will take the percentages. It keeps track of everything you're putting in when you pour it. The only other thing I've ever heard is when you're blending them, to let them sit at least a day before you start drinking it, just to make sure it blends. And never shake it. Don't ever shake up the bottle. I don't know if that has something to do with the air or what on there, but let's go dive into.
I'm even trying one. I have another one on my shelf over here with my other bottles that I'm doing with rums, and we just cracked it open just to kind of get the nose on it, and it smells pretty damn
It smells
good.
really good. So, actually, we'll go right into that then. My bottle. When I first got into bourbons, my first unicorn was a Blandon's bottle. Searched online because I found one just randomly going into Safeway. and found a bottle online for the same exact dump date, but in '89. So I was like, all right, I gotta buy this bottle. But I was like, she's all the way across town. I want to make it worth it, and I'm driving all the way out there. So I looked at her, I think it was a Facebook post, what other stuff she's selling. Came across this bottle. I think I paid like $5 for it, but it's a 1969 Anchor Hawkins bottle, and it actually says bourbon across it. Apparently this was pretty popular back then, and it has the original cork. Everything is original on there. I did make sure to check that it's not gonna kill me there. It's not
It's a uranium cork.
yeah, none of the actually
lead-based cork.
actually, funny thing about it is I messaged the company, because Anchor Hawkins actually still makes glass bottles and stuff. I messaged them and said, hey, I got a bottle from 1960. Is this thing going to kill me if I drink out of it? They replied back in a few days saying none of their stuff has ever been used. I don't even remember what material it was that was in there. But they said no, they'll guarantee that it's not anything that's going to poison me in there. And since he was talking about the rums, I decided to go a little different, and hopefully it pans out. But so me and my wife, we actually went on a Jamaican a cruise through the Caribbean. Went to Jamaica, stopped in basically any of those stores out there will try to sell you tons of rum. It was good times. But I bought an expensive bottle of rum that we brought back.
That was your honeymoon, wasn't it?
Yes, that was on a honeymoon, sorry. So we brought that back, and I got the idea that, hey, I'm going to start, it's a little different, but it's going to start out with rum just because that is what started our family. That's what started our trees growing here and with the leaves and stuff. So I thought that would be kind of cool to tell the kids that, hey, part of this is actually the rum from our honeymoon. You know, maybe they'll get a kick out of it, maybe not, and it may taste horrible, but we shall see on there. And then basically I started this one January 1st of 24, so this year, the beginning of the year. Currently it only has 4 dumps in there. It's at 90.75. The first one was a bottle of rum called Royal Jamaican, can you speak? Which is actually kind of weird because the app that I'm using is called Infinity Bottle. And I'll post a picture of their logo and stuff so you can search for it, and we'll do the same with his. But you can scan the bottles, and if it finds it, it'll go ahead and just put everything in there. The proofs, all the history, information about the bottle that you're scanning. You just have to put what you're dumping, the amount. This was the only bottle I could not find when I scanned it. It would not recognize the bottle. It is a really good, expensive bottle, but for some reason their system, and I think it's more geared towards bourbons and stuff. But then I also tossed so far Buffalo Trace, which was a store pick.
That was a Circle K store pick.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Nothing like a gas station store pick, which was actually delicious.
Yeah.
It blew me away that Circle K would have a store pick, a single barrel store pick.
So that's just kind of adding to the little strangeness of this, that it's gas station store pick.
Yeah.
Then Blanton single barrel. That was because of the fact that was the first bourbon my unicorn that I found. So I had to dump some of that in there. And then the last one was McKenna single barrel. I believe that's a 10-year, right?
That was delicious. Yeah,
that is a really good bottle.
I think I got a bottle of that right here.
Yeah. We went to Costco, I believe, to get that one. It's a really good bottle. I'm almost done with mine. That's why I had to dump it. But yes,
I haven't cracked mine yet. I've been saving it because when we were drinking
bottle,
mine. Oh, I love it. It's so good. For being
it's 100 proof. Yeah, 10-year
bottle and bond. Oh.
Yeah, it's a really good bottle. I'm gonna be sad when
this one's dump date is actually February 14th of 2012.
Yep.
So So barreled on.
That's
Well,
what
not the
same
dump
as
date,
mine.
but the barrel date. It was
Yeah,
barreled on.
barreled.
On 2/14 of 12.
And actually, the app will keep that and correct it too. You can mark on there like the single barrel. I don't think the Buffalo Trace had one, but you can mark the dump dates on there. So if you ever wanted to go back and see exactly what's in your bottle, you can easily pull it up. Plus, you can take a picture of the bottle, put a description of it, anything you want, so that you know. And like, hey, he has multiple bottles, so he can keep putting different bottles in there, and he knows what's in each bottle.
So
And then he's going to talk about his.
the app that I use is called Whiskey Shelf. It works on. I don't think it's on Android. I don't know.
Actually, it looks familiar.
I
I'll
know
have to
the
check,
one
but-
that he used on Android isn't on my Apple phone, so I
Wasn't
find something
there.
different. But so for my infinity bottle, mine is.
It shows a little picture of it.
Yeah, so it shows a picture of the bottle, so you can see how filled you are. So mine right now is, I have 7 pours in it. My proof is 95.6 ABV, 47.8, and so far I've got 7 ounces in there. So my details are, it's 14% Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select. It is a 14% Crown Royal, 14% Pendleton 1910. Let's see.
You got a few bottles.
14% Glenfiddich. I did put a little scotch in there just to add a little peat to it, a little smokiness to it. And then a local distillery, one of my friends that recently passed away gave me a bottle of Delbec, which is a local distillery out of Tucson, Arizona.
Good stuff.
So the final pour of that,
Mesquite wood they
final pour of that, I put into here because it's an infinity bottle, and I'd like to remember Bill. He was a great guy. I worked with him for many years, and I figured what better way to honor him than to put the bottle he gifted to me into the infinity bottle. So
I actually like, well, besides you're paying tribute to him, but I like the idea of the Delbec, because Delbec is local to Arizona, and they use mesquite wood, which is local Arizona kind of wood. So it does add a different taste, which would be interesting because, you know, I want this something that's personal to me. In Arizona, we both have lived here. I've lived here the majority of my life. My wife's lived here for quite a few years too. And then actually, now I'm thinking about it, I need to get then a bottle from Boston because we lived there for a while.
I've been here for just over 18 years.
And he would need to get just to add to it something from that's unique to Michigan.
Yeah,
Actually,
there's
the
actually-
dragon one, isn't it? The dragon's milk?
Yeah,
that Michigan?
dragon's blood or whatever it is.
Dragon.
Or
I
milk.
think it's milk.
Yeah. So there's that one, but there's another one that comes out of Michigan that I want to get from Traverse City. It's like a cherry flavored bourbon.
Ooh, that may be
So
interesting.
from Grand Traverse, and I've been up there. They're known for cherries. They have the cherry festival every year. So that's a bottle I'd like to add to that too. But just to finish on my infinity
sorry.
bottle, no worries. I also have my last 2 bottles are Rebel 100, and then
Rebel?
Yep.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you said Red Bull.
No, Rebel.
I'm like, you're really
Like
getting a little
you
strange.
Rebel, like a Star Wars Rebel.
Yeah, I got you.
And then last but not least, Benchmark Full Proof, which is 125 proof.
Nice.
So, yeah. So and it's cool, and it breaks it down. Like I said, if you look at your picture, it shows you how much of your bottle is full. Breaks down the day you started it, what your proof is, what your volume is. Mine's 28% full. So and then other parts of the app are actually really cool because then this one has bottle inventory.
Yo, yeah.
And so I can go in
Actually,
here.
I think I have that because of this.
And then I can
You
see
just
all.
Scan the bottle too,
Yeah.
and it adds it to
Just
your
hit the
inventory. Like
barcode.
you can mark if it's open, right?
Yeah, you can put if
Oh,
it's
closed.
open,
Oh,
what you paid
what
for it,
percentage.
where
Oh,
you got
yes.
it, what's your tasting note. You know, is this one of your favorites, least favorites, and then even empty bottles, so you can go through and see which ones you like the most. You go, oh, I got a ton of empty bottles. I guess I must like that one. So it's a pretty nifty little app. You can have more than one infinity bottle going at a
Yes.
time. You can even put say you're at a store somewhere and you find a bottle you really like, you can click on bottle and wish list, and so then you can add it to your wish list. So whenever you're out and about, you can pull that up and go, oh, there's that bottle on my wish list. I think I should
Old
grab that.
Forester birthday.
So yeah,
That's one that's gonna probably sit on the wish list for
Yeah.
a while.
I want to try that new Old Forester 1924 that just came out last week.
Oh yeah, that one
That's
sounds
not
to be
good.
good. So on this too, when you basically mark on there too if you're taking out some, how much you took out and everything.
Do you want to do a pour?
Sure, we'll have to measure it.
Yeah, I got my. My
But
teacup
yeah,
right here.
we'll see how this actually tastes. I need to do one episode too where we're gonna have the wives try this stuff and just to see their expressions.
I like that little. It's like a flower petal on top, but it's like it has like 4
Little.
pour spouts.
Yeah, so you can
I like
easily pour it.
My infinity bottle. I really like this one because it's just I like the clear. It's plain.
What is this? Is that an ounce?
That's an ounce.
So I'll just know I took out 2 ounces.
Yeah, and so this one I want to say this was actually like Home Goods. I think I got it was on sale there for like $20. But I like the heavy base on it, the heavy bottom. I like the heavy bottom shot glasses and whatnot. So that's why I like this one. I like the clear, the simplicity of it.
Oh, geez. Okay. So yeah, this one it just caught my eye too because it says bourbon across it, and then it was interesting that the bottles. What is that?
Mine says I don't know if you can read it, but mine says #1 Reserve Whiskey.
So that's what if it's 69. Trying to do math here. 55 years. Yeah, this would be 55 years this year,
Yeah,
right? I think if I'm doing math right. But all right, so this. What do you think of the note, the smell on this? It's unique.
It's
But I
very,
like it.
it's kind of musty, but
I don't
It's
really,
good. It's
I don't really
sweet.
know. I think the sweet is coming from that
The rum.
that's in there.
yeah,
But
it's definitely got some oak and like a vanilla forward.
yeah,
I can smell vanilla. That might be the rum again too.
the rum may be overpowering some of the smells at least.
What's the proof on yours?
90.75.
Because I get a lot of the ethanol.
You
It
smell it.
smells hotter than 90 proof.
Yeah, if the app's correct, it's 90 proof. So,
Well, say when.
but say when, everyone. That does have a burn. For 90, I don't know if the app's right, but
Or maybe your ounces are off.
yeah, I mean, I think the ounces are right, but I'll have to double check that. But it does have a burn, but then afterwards, it's not bad.
Mm-mm.
All in all, I don't think the rum. This is the first time trying that, so I didn't know how it was gonna.
I don't. It's weird on the nose. I definitely get rum on the nose, but
I don't
I
taste
get
it,
no rum on the palate.
Yeah, that's what's kind of odd.
It almost tastes like a straight, almost like that Buffalo Trace store pick or that McKenna.
Oh yeah,
Like it totally just punched everything else out.
yeah. Well, the McKenna I think was the last one dumped
And that was
into
100
there, so I
proof.
wonder if it didn't, or if that overpowers everything. Comment below if you know what exactly the science is behind this.
Science.
Science. Well, speaking of that,
It's not
we're gonna
bad.
have-
I mean,
we're gonna have an episode.
I could sip this.
Yeah, this is. I
This
can
is-
sit here and
it's
easily
good.
drink
It's
it.
not a bad pour. It's just, it's so weird. The nose does not match the palate. It's really weird.
Definitely.
Because on the nose, it's super sweet.
Definitely.
It's
I'll
like
put
a
it this
vanilla
way.
bomb on the nose.
The smell is really good. I don't think. I think when my kids turn 21, maybe a sip of this, but I think I don't want them to get turned off by the heat on it right away, unless it changes as the years go on. We got 10 years to go before.
You just need to drop it down, put in some like benchmark 8, some Jack Daniels, some low 80,
stuff so
80
they can at
proofers.
least get their
Kinda
taste buds.
dilute it down.
But no, I like it. I think I'm gonna try experimenting with the.
Well, one of the next bottles that I have that I'm probably going to be adding to this is a store pick stag that came in at almost 140 proof. So that'll darken it up a little bit, and I'll definitely add some heat.
Yeah. This one, I mean, I like it. The smell, the taste is good. It does have the burn at first,
See,
but then it goes away, and it's smooth. It still has the smoky taste. It doesn't have a really sweet taste.
no, it's really weird
I don't
because
taste it.
it so tricks your palate. 'Cause seriously, when you smell
You're not
it,
expecting
when you
what
smell it,
taste.
it's so sweet. It smells like rum.
Yeah.
But on the
It's
palate,
straight.
man, you're like, this is not what I'm smelling. It's so weird.
That's not what you're tasting, you mean?
Mm-hmm. That's good though. I'd buy a bottle of that.
Oh, yeah. Look for Say When Bourbon coming soon.
It's just a hodgepodge of stuff we got on the shelf, but it's delicious.
We're just gonna constantly change the bottles up every few months, whatever's laying around. But no, we did do an episode that's gonna be coming out shortly, talking about blended, and that's kind of where it came from. Is just people, celebrities, different distillers. Hey, let's mix this one with this one and see what we come up with. And some of them are good. I've had some blended that are not so hot, but we're gonna be doing a couple of those. We still have the episode coming out shortly, and then trying different ones.
So we'll have an episode coming up soon. Our least favorite bourbons.
Yes.
And I have a
yes.
funny story with mine that I'll hold till that day, but
There's
Yeah.
a few that I don't like.
there's a few. Pretty
Yeah.
much for him,
His story.
if it's
No.
over 5 proof, it's not for him.
No.
He likes his with a little pacifier.
So this
and-
started when I first. If you guys have been following us, when we first started, I did not like high proofs. Now my taste buds have changed, and I'm more. It's got to at least be 90 to 100 proof. Even then, like the Stag is 140. That does not taste like it, but I can stand it. There are some though that are about 110 that I don't know. It's something about the taste that doesn't. I don't like it. But for the most part, I prefer right around 100. 90 is low end. But
I do. I will admit. I mean, I like some of the hotter ones. Like I said, I love the Stag. I love the Benchmark. I think I have another one over there that's pretty hot. Oh, the Ezra Brooks Distiller Collection. That one's 113. I have a cask strength Metallica Black, and that one's like 118. That one's hot. That one's. It's not my hottest bottle, but it drinks like my hottest bottle. That one's spicy.
it's kind of like this, where
But
it's the
I honestly really enjoy that bottle and bond proof point. That 100 proof, you get the good flavor, you get a solid nose, you get some good age on it, and
Yeah, he
and
loves this
some
bottle
decent
as well.
proof. I've got a whole on my shelf over here. I've got
I'm trying to collect them all. He's
I've got-
Pokemon in it over here.
Yeah, so
But yeah, definitely we'll come out with those episodes, talking about it, seeing the different proofs, and talking about the bourbons we don't like. And I'm sure everybody's bought a bottle that they regret. I have a bottle, I'm sure a couple bottles that are sitting there that when the special guests come by, those are the ones, oh here, try some of this, it's good stuff.
like
And
the
why are you not
dragon bottle?
The dragon bottle, I will say,
The bottle is
The
amazing. What's in the bottle is a different story.
That
That'll
one may-
probably make
that one
the
may be
that might
one
make
big one.
that might make the
Guest list.
that might not be buying this bourbon
Yeah,
again. but-
might not be buying that one again. That's one that possibly the bottle, the bottle looks nicer than the juice. But I mean, I don't regret it. I'm a big 49ers fan. It's red and gold. I do think dragons and gold are lucky. So, and it is what it is. I'm more the type that would like to take chances and try different ones and fail, than to never try these off the wall. Because there are some brands that, and we'll go into those too, that are like, you know, you can get for $20. That
There's I think we've touched on it in another video before, one of our campfire chats. But there's a place up in Sedona called American Spirits and Spice.
Oh yes.
And they have a whole bunch of just random whiskey and
I really
scotch.
like this.
Random whiskey and scotch from all over the world. And it's just things that you'd never expect. Like they have one distillery that we got some, I think wasn't theirs called Dragon's Blood? And it was a distillery of like all women distillery.
Yes, yes.
And that was a phenomenal bottle. You
yes.
know? And
it was something with dragon.
There's a hand painted dragon on the side of the bottle.
It was something, I think it was fire. Cause it had
Dragon's
flames
Fire?
or
Oh yeah,
something.
maybe it's Dragon's Fire.
We'll look it up and try to put a link to it in there. But that was phenomenal. And it was, what country was that out of? Because it wasn't here.
No, it was like UK or Scotland.
Yeah,
it was somewhere
some
over
other country,
there.
but it was really good stuff.
But their like main selling point was it was a strictly female.
Yeah, it was all
staff
female distillery. One of the oldest all female distilleries out
And
there.
that was a solid pour. And then they have like my favorite, my absolute hands down. He knows what I'm talking about. Cragibus.
Yes,
Um,
we've talked about it in a few episodes.
it's
That's
like a campfire in your mouth. It's
Oh
amazing.
yes, when we love to go camping. That is good stuff to
very
drink and sit back. It actually, the longer you let it kind of sit, and like from the first pour to the sip to the last sip, it got a lot better, and it wasn't as strong, I guess, at the first, but it still has
It
that,
opened up a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it has that sweet smell, but it doesn't have the sweet taste. It drinks like a bourbon. It tastes like a bourbon that has a
It's
good,
very.
decent kick.
I still
and
have
decent
like
flavor.
on the back of my palate. It's got a real oak.
Yeah.
A real heavy oak wood, like a wood tannin taste. Not a bad one. Not like a burning like bitter one, but like a just
Not like I need something to wash this out.
that lingering oak taste that you like to hold on to. So
Yeah.
it's actually a pretty solid glass.
So I think that wraps it up for the Infinity Bottle episodes. Like we always say, comment below what you do with your Infinity Bottle. If you have a cool story about your bottle, where you got the bottle from, what you put into the bottle, if it means something to you, I would love to hear those. We would love to, hear those stories, and we can share them on here. And the same thing is comment what you think people should do and shouldn't do, or stuff that you may have tried that, didn't work out so well.
Science.
Yes, science. But as always, like, subscribe, review, and as always, say when.
Say when. Thanks for stopping by.